I didn't see myself as someone who would ever be charged with a federal crime. I had a job, a routine, bills, family conversations, plans for the future. I believed I was informed. I followed the news. I paid attention. And that's why when people online started saying the election was stolen, I didn't dismiss it. At first, it sounded complicated. Then it sounded convincing. Then it sounded obvious. For weeks, my phone was a constant stream. Videos explaining what really happened. Screenshots, charts, people speaking with absolute certainty. They didn't sound crazy. They sounded calm, analytical, patriotic, and they all kept saying the same thing. If this stands, the country is over. January 6th kept coming up, the day Congress would certify the election, the day it could still be stopped. I remember thinking, if this is really happening, how could I stay home? So I booked the trip. I told myself I was going to witness history, not make it, just be there. The city felt different that morning. Cold air, flags everywhere, people greeting strangers like old friends. I talked to people who had driven all night, people who had flown in from across the country. Some were angry, some were hopeful, some were smiling. Everyone believed they were on the right side of history. That kind of certainty is contagious. When the speeches started, the crowd leaned in, listening, cheering, shouting back. The words were familiar. I'd heard them online 100 times. Fraud, betrayal, fight. No one explained what fight meant, but no one asked either. When people began walking toward the Capitol, I followed. Not because I planned to, because stopping felt like stepping out of a current. At first, it felt almost peaceful. Chants, phones in the air, people live streaming. Then we got closer. I saw barricades, police lines. The energy changed. Voices got louder. Shoves turned into pushes. I remember thinking, this is getting out of hand, but I also remember thinking, someone will stop this. No one did. The barricade went down faster than I expected. 1 second, it was there. The next, it wasn't. People surged forward. I stopped. I really did. That was the last clean moment, the last chance to turn around without consequences. And I didn't take it. I tell myself this part carefully now, because details matter. I didn't break a window. I didn't shove an officer. But I walked through a door I wasn't allowed to walk through. Inside the United States Capitol, everything felt wrong in a quiet way. It wasn't loud like the outside. It echoed. Footsteps, shouting in the distance, radios crackling. I remember the floors, the walls, the feeling that this place was heavy with meaning, and we didn't belong. On the ride home, I watched the footage everyone else was watching, only this time I was in it. I didn't recognize myself in those images, but there I was. For days, I minimized it. I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't destroy anything. I was caught up in the moment. I believed those excuses. I needed to. Because accepting the alternative, that I crossed a line, meant accepting responsibility. Weeks passed. Then the knock came. They were calm, professional, prepared. They showed me photos, security footage, my own posts. They didn't argue with me. They didn't debate politics. They just laid out facts. Where I went, when I entered, when I left. Belief didn't matter. Location did. The paperwork stripped everything down. No slogans, no context, no crowd, just actions. Unlawful entry, restricted building. I saw my name next to words I never thought I'd read about myself. Court wasn't dramatic. It was quiet. The judge didn't ask why I believed what I believed. They asked where I stood, what doors I crossed, what warnings I ignored. I pled guilty. So did many others. The hardest part isn't the sentence. It's realizing how ordinary the path was. I wasn't recruited. I wasn't ordered. I wasn't paid. I was persuaded. By repetition. By emotion. By belonging. I didn't feel dangerous. I felt justified. That's the lesson I can't ignore anymore. I went to Washington believing I was defending democracy. I left understanding how easily belief can override judgment. I didn't set out to cross a line, but lines don't announce themselves. Sometimes they only exist once you've stepped over them, and by the time you see them clearly, it's already too late.